Sorry if you hear me munching a few veggies, guys. I am going to raise the 4-8. The King Jack suited top right's probably a little bit too strong to fold to the 3-bet. I mean, the guy's been very aggressive, and it's a decent hand, flops reasonably well, and we're in position. Floating is pretty tempting, because we do have the, the backdoor straights and flushes and the overs, so I think I will float one. And we're probably not going to be able to give it up now. I think betting is fine. Just in case we miss and he gets to call with, ace king on the river or something like that. It's pretty gross if he check jams, but probably just going to have to call. It's pretty weird how he check calls turn. I'm just going to presume he's a massive fish though. Well, can he have nines is what I'm thinking. I think I'm just going to shove it. He might even have got scared with an overpair, you know. Or he might just hero with ace king. I mean, last part we just saw some disgusting plays. Probably had ace jack. Yeah, he may have had ace jack, I guess, and had the up and down. Just gotta be careful semi-bluffing with these guys, because like now, I mean, we can, but yeah, I mean, this one's probably a bit better to do it with. It's just that, I mean, I know this guy's showing supernova, but he's probably still a massive fish, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to check raise it, I think it's okay. It can't be bad, that's for sure, with a pair and flush draw. We can definitely get him to fold out, fold out things like 8s and 9s and 10s and stuff like that. Probably should have made it a little bit smaller, just to have a little bit of room on the end. Just trying to work out how we want to proceed now. If we want to actually be betting, or I think I might actually check now. This is pretty gross. I've created a really bad SPR. I don't want to bet like 12 and have him jam on us. That's the biggest problem. And if we bet 1,000 and he calls, I mean, he's got 3,700 left. There's 5,000 on the river. So I just really butchered this hand with the my flop raise sizing. Probably going to check call. If he bets small, I could even check shove. As it is, he's just gone ahead and smashed the hell out of it. I actually think he has Queen 8 of diamonds a lot here. I really do. But we're going to give it to him. I butchered that hand really badly. I should have just checked min the flop. Bet small turn, shove river. Or check raise huge flop, shove turn. I basically check raise the worst sizing possible. To be honest, I just thought he was going to snap fold, just a standard C betting board. He's kind of thin. Just call. This guy hasn't been 3-betting much. I'm pretty sure we have the best hand now. He's got ace king or ace queen a lot here, I think. Ace jack. We can probably bet huge for value here. think if he has an ace, he's just calling. He's going to be pretty inelastic on the river. Can we get lucky top left? Can he have ace king? Nope, 10 jack. Actually, it was a pretty good spot to 3-bet the 5-8. I think in the bubble that guy's going to open pretty wide. Presuming it is still the bubble. I assume it is. Let's have a look. Yeah. So I'm just going to make a standard sort of small raise here, and I think I'm just going to call because these guys are so bad with the 6-7. If we flop anything, we might just win a ton of chips. And I think I'm going to fold here. I think I'm going to call. It's kind of close because we know he doesn't do a lot of folding. Why couldn't have run out with a 3 there? That's so gross. I played that one really carefully. Well, yeah, kind of carefully, but I think it's okay because the thing is that we're calling 80 chips. You know, we're calling virtually nothing. But if we hit and we bomb 1,000, he's probably snap calling with any pair. So I don't think it's too much point. I mean, we can raise turn huge with a ton of outs, and then we get value when we hit our hand, but also we have a potential bluff opportunity on the river. But I really don't think. I just think you're so hard pressed to get better value than we were getting. I mean, we're calling 80 to win an absolute ton of chips because we can just pot river and he's snap calling with anything. Especially once we just call 80, he's never going to believe that we're just going to call 80 and all of a sudden somehow have a hand on the river when we bet 1,500. And so I just don't see how we can get better value than that, to be honest. So I think our play was fine. And I think I'm just going to raise small here for value too, just because this guy's stealing at a really high frequency. And now we have the initiative, so we can go ahead and c-bet. And maybe maybe barrel. If we get a jack or a queen, probably going to barrel, but as it was, he just gave it up. We're 5 of 29 there. And it's a very soft field. We just got Jean Grey and White Rabido, a couple of very good players, as the only remaining good players. Oh, and Legend Den, who's not too bad as well. He's one of those players that's pretty good and just runs like God. But I think White Rabido is a lot better than Legend Den, in my opinion. I'm sure plenty of people disagree with me. For those die-hard online fans, especially if they're from whatever country Legend Den is from, then I'm sure you definitely disagree. I just find Legend Den to be hugely spewy in certain spots. But, this is tournaments, and as I've said before, it's not always a bad thing to be spewy in the right spot. You've got to put yourself in a position to get chips. It's a crazy race to the finish line. Whoever told you that tournaments were a marathon lied to you? You've got 400, 500, 600 hands, 700 hands if you're lucky to get every single player's chips. Some of these fields have 500 or 1,000, 5,000 players. And the only way you can do that is to run like God and just, well, not run like God, but just play well, run good, and just put yourself in a position to get chips. And the truth is, I would probably squeeze here for a I'd probably squeeze here with a lot of hands, but we just happen to have queens. But I'd probably be squeezing there with Jack 2 off, to be honest. You saw me squeeze in a spot like that the other day with Jack 6 and flop 2 pair, which was fun. 7, 8, 9, 10. I think just isolating this guy is fine. And I think folding there is okay. This guy looks pretty like he's defending pretty loose. Don't really want to mess around with loose defenders out of position with Queen 6. And I think, given the fact that this guy just limped, would be pretty unlucky to run into King Jack or King Queen. So I think I'm going to go ahead and bet. Turn, it's not so much that I'm worried about the ace, it's just that it's such an obvious scare card that I just I mean, I just don't think we can get value from hands that he might call flop with, like sixes. I think he can have sixes. He could have 7-9, something like that. He could have king 6 suited, 8-9. There's not really many hands he can have that beat us. So I'm pretty close to value betting here, but you know, he's probably going to have like 7-8 off or something. But I just think that, well, I mean, if we bet small, I guess it's like a king 6 might call, but it's getting on the thin side, I think, with that board run out. And you could have, I was going to say, you could have queen 8 is one of the other hands you could have as well. Yeah, just in case, you know, he's got the queen 8 or flop bottom set and played it really weird, or ace 5 2 pair as well. There's another one that was running through my mind that was possible. Ace 5 ace 8, trying to get tricky with it. Didn't seem like it. It's pretty close. It's one of those spots where the value, I think the value of betting is so close to break even that, I mean, you have to bet so small, I think, so small in that spot to get value from the sort of hands that he's likely to have, that it's almost not worth it, just in case he does do something funky, like, you know, check raise, and then you make a huge mistake where you call, you know, and he's got 2 pair, and you actually bet tiny for value and then end up giving huge value when you get check raised. But if you know you're always going to fold if you check raise, then if you know he's going to always have it, then, you know, I guess that's okay. It's not always the case with these donkeys, you know. Sometimes they just see a very small river bet and then just think, oh, he's bet tiny, you know, I think I can bluff him here, without really thinking about what you're likely to have and without really thinking about what they're representing or what you're going to put them on. Not a lot of multi-level thinking goes into it. They just go sort of more off very obvious information, in-your-face information. You know, they don't even go back to the pre-flop. You know, they don't even sort of think, well, this guy raised pre-flop, so he could have such and such a hand. They're sort of just more in the actual current in-their-face action. And if you bet tiny, a lot of these guys will go, huh, he's bet tiny. He's probably weak. I can bluff him. I have nothing. I have to bluff to win. I'm going to raise. It's a cool play. And that's what they do. They don't go back and think, oh, hang on, he was UTG and he raised with aggressive players behind. He's been tight. All of that stuff, you know, just, no, you just forget about it. Sorry guys, just munching on some carrot sticks and stuff here. I think I will defend with the queen 5 suited. Sorry, I was just chewing away there. I did misclick bottom left then. I meant to raise. But as it was, it got jammed, so it actually actually worked out okay. Yeah, so the queen 5 before, I went for pretty big value on the river. The reason why I did that is because I thought he might get a little bit curious and think that we might be, why are we betting so big? Maybe we're turning a hand into a bluff, because not that many hands are going to go for value that big. That's what I was hoping he might think. And he could have hit the 10 turn, or he could have had jacks or 9s. Or, you know, ace 10 that hit the 10 turn, or 10 jack. I think he gets pretty curious with those hands and looks us up, so... I tried to make it a suspicious looking bet. I think... I sort of raised tiny to try and get this guy to give us some value. This is going to be pretty thin here, but I actually think I'm going to go for like multiple streets with the ace queen here. I think he's got jack queen, something like that. Queen 10, queen 9, ace 7. I think we got pretty good value that hand. Maybe close to the max. Queen 2, yeah. So, I mean, he's pretty loose. We probably could have gone bigger on the end, I think. I probably missed a little bit of value. The top middle, it's close to raising flop, but I think it's okay just to call flop. And calling turn again, I think is fine. We're not going to get... Well, I mean, we are going to get action from worse because these guys are so bad, but it's kind of a... Let him bluff and control at the same time, and yeah, just all that sort of stuff. Just going to min raise to isolate the donkey here and try and get him heads up, but doesn't quite work. And are we still in the bubble here or not? Bubbles burst here now. We're going to fold that one. It's pretty close. And I think we can raise here. Well, bottom top's pretty close. The overcaller here could just be stabbing because people have checked. He could have some draw and so forth. Wow. This is a messy hand. It's such a messy hand. But, yeah, it just looked too bluffy to be true. Too bluffy to be true. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'm quite folding there. You can see the value betting has been quite thin. Well, I mean, the queen, ace queen was kind of on the thin side, I think, but it just seemed like we can get a lot of value from the fishiness. I'm going to call up here, top right, just because this guy seems really loose. Probably going to float one, I guess, if he bets under half pot. I might even just bet. The objective is to fold out like 8s and 9s and stuff. At the same time, you know, we do have a gut shot. It's kind of close. I mean, we could just give up. We could stab turn. I think I will raise there. The big blind's quite tight. Rubito's probably going to 3-bet whack a lot, but so be it. So be it. Ooh, flop ourselves a flush draw. So I'm just trying to work out, I mean, this guy's so loosey-goosey. I think I'm just going to bet small. Try and fold out like pocket 6s if he's got something like that that's beating us. But at the same time, at that stack depth on that board, I don't really think that setting it up for barrels is necessarily good, just because we're so deep and he's likely to be so sticky and fishy that we're just going to get much better spots than barreling off there. At the same time, I mean, if he does have an ace, when we bet the flop, if we do hit the club on the turn, I mean, we can get a little bit of, well, not a little bit, we can get huge value on later streets. So I do like a small bet just to fold out the hands that are beating us, and also to set it up for if we do hit to get a little bit of value. But yeah, I guess I'm going to fold here. It's a bit annoying. That guy could definitely be light, I think, but it's just too many. I think there's just a few too many fish around to get too caught up in that sort of situation. 4 of 21. We've been coasting. We've got a guy on our right that's limping every second hand. It's a lie. He's actually limping every third hand. So it's just good. It's just happy days at the moment here. On all tables, really. I mean, these guys are terrible. They're all playing like fish. Loose fish. Fish loves min betting. Seems fishy. These are not detailed notes at all, but I think it's better than yeah. I mean, just if in case I had on a table, just encounter them from the get go. They're on my table, and I'm in a hand with them. At least I know straight away. Okay, these guys are not pros. These guys are not good players. I think I will raise here. We've got a pretty good stack size to leverage, and wow, I wonder if we can check. We can definitely just tank call now, I think. Well, not tank, but just sink for a bit and call. He's probably donking out with nothing. He could have hearts. I don't think he's going to donk out with an ace. He might have ace-9 and just go, hey, I'm going to bet, but pretty rare. I mean, I think most of the time he's folding here when we jam, or he might call with, like, king-9 of hearts or something. But I do think it's better just to send the marbles in, because the problem with just calling is, well, I mean, we just give him a free chance to hit if he does have the hearts. But it's close. I mean, we could just flat, but come on, Mr. Robido, don't do it to us. Hold up, tens. We've got to get rid of this guy. Thank you. We got him. I think I'm just gonna yeah, I think I will raise this guy here. It's pretty close. He does seem like he's actually folding to some 3-bets. It's actually a nice surprise for these guys. This guy's pretty tight, so this is slightly alarming here. Loose opener, tight flat caller on the button, and 18. Yeah, I think I'm just going to come over the top here and shove it, but and bet again there 8, and just bet here 3-1-1. I think he's going to have ace jack a lot here. We can fold that out. He could have 7s, 8s, 6s. He can have king queen, of course, maybe ace queen, pocket 9s and 5s. I mean, he could definitely have a lot of hands. But at the same time, I do think that when we raise against a UTG opener, we look quite strong. And I do think, when we just bet that sort of sizing under half pot, it's probably only going to work about 30% of the time to be profitable. I think it does, but I don't think it's a pretty bad board, though. I mean, it is a bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I love this board, so we have to bet. It's a bad board, but it's just as good for our range as it is for his, and we're telling a story where we've 3-bet UTG trying to look very strong. So I think we can get some folds, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, top pair is obviously not folding. Second best pair is probably not folding. But I think we can fold some small pairs and ace highs and some stuff like that. And if he's got like king jack, a gut shot, it'd be interesting to see what he does with it. He may fold, he may do what he just did and check raise, or maybe he floats. But floating's a bit gross in that spot, but hard to say. So I've checked, sort of gone for, was going to go for a delayed c-bet top right, and kind of, it's a bit paired shaped now with the king on the river. It's kind of, he gave up, so that's good. In his eyes there, it has to look like we're calling, surely. This guy's got 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy's got 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy's got M4 and his UTG. It's pretty close. I think I'm going to fold, but you could just ream in and just isolate that guy heads up. We still have a few players behind to think about. So I'm just going to start betting here, getting some value. It's interesting that he has just checked on that board and just given up. So a little turbo there popping up, $13. I think I will go for the re-raise here. 224. Wow, that's getting a bit big, isn't it? This is 23. Probably not going to be able to fold now if this guy jams, just because of the price we're getting, but I think it's better to 4-bet call off than just shove, because I think it actually looks a little bit stronger. And at the same time, see if we can win a flip. Oh, look at this! Look at this sudden burst of winning flips that's going on here, and flopping sets, and all of this good stuff that's happening, and folding to donk bets with 10 queen there. It's pretty close. I won't lie, I did time out, but I probably would have called one and seen what he did on the turn. May have even called 2 or 3, 4 or 5, 6 or 7 even. Just had all my tables beeping at once. And folded the 10 queen, but it's no biggie. It's a very dangerous board. So 3 of 13 there. 4 of 18 here. And I mean, we have won a couple of flips, but 16. We haven't really been sort of in any sort of really tough, tricky spots, have we? I mean, we knocked out Rabito. We just won that flip against that guy who I think is a decent player. Yeah, butt flush, he's okay. Just sort of coasting, to be honest. I don't want to say it, you know. What am I talking about, coasting? We're doing it tough. You can't say you're coasting, because the poker gods will punish you. They will strike down upon thee. If you think it's easy, that's when they slap you in the chops. So let's say that it's been a tough struggle and we're just hanging on by a thread. But yeah, in all reality, I just feel we're going to have some fish for lunch today. Yeah, top right. I think I'm going to defend the 710. Like, it's pretty loose, but this guy just does, you know, the retarded stuff where he just like min bets and stuff. What's the bet here? 150. So I think I'm actually just going to go for value here and just tank a little bit, like I'm thinking about making some silly bluff. I think I'm going to fold there. A King Jack is the hand that, as Tony G says, you do not want to overplay. So I just got a message from my wife that she's coming up to bring me some food, literally, because I'm on top of the hill. And it's good news, because I was just running out of food. But not running out of hands. Pocket aces, hello. And we've been pretty active. Good chance we get some action here, but it's up to the blinds now. Come on, blinds, get involved. Don't be shy. Damn. Damn, 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 damn. 610's close. The big blind's a little bit on the loosish side, actually, so I'm not sure I love this open. But we are cut off, suited 610, so it can't be too bad. But I don't think I'm going to put any more money in the pot, to be honest. I think that's it for me here. It's true, we have a backdoor flush and straight, but I don't know, Jim Bizzle just flattered behind. It's a pretty bad board. Jim Bizzle can have some hands that are going to get a bit sticky on us with pairs and Jack Queens, Queen 10 suited and 9 10s and 10 Jacks and Ace 10s and King 5s and maybe not King 5, but she probably had 7 8 suited and just stole that one from right under our nose, but yeah, donked into 4 players, so I'm going to fold. Yeah. Be right back, guys. Oh. Just do a few stretches here. Oh! Come back and see this flop. What a flop it is. I think I'm. Well, how am I gonna say? I think I will just call top right and look to shove on the turn. Wow, I think I'm going to check that now and turn this big hand. And I think now I'm going to shove. I think it's a better way of playing the hand, to be honest. Just because he might double barrel like he did, and then we get to pick up more aggressive dead money. And I think here we can go pretty big and just get caught by anything really. It's probably got a 7. It's probably got 7 8. I'm just going to bet here. I think this guy might have just given up. But yeah, I think playing the flush that way against Andy H, who is a very good player. He is a WSOP Europe bracelet winner, I believe. I think calling flop and then jamming turn looks less flushy. You know, it looks like we have got Jack Queen and we're just like, okay, we're going to call, get it in on the turn, let him bluff kind of thing. I think that's, you know, the sort of hand that he can easily put us on. At the same time, you know, if a king comes and he happens to have a king, he's never folding. Sorry, that's bad. Let me say it again. If a heart comes and he hits a pair, you know, I don't think he's ever folding. If a king comes, what I'm going to say then, if he does have the queen, I mean, I don't think he's ever folding. The worst case for us is, I mean, well, I mean, it's not really that many worst cases. I mean, king queen or pocket queens, obviously queens were drawing dead, but I mean, he's going to be three betting, you know, so wide that, yeah, I should have got that in there. He's going to be three betting so wide that that was, yeah, I mean, I think I should have just got that in. It's just for some reason I'm having troubles keeping up with these tables. I think it's because we're getting so many goddamn hands. It feels like we've got a hand everywhere. Every hand's a hand. It really does. Like, even on these side tables, you know, I'm just getting hands. And just getting action too. I mean, the queen's here against the ace king, and just oh, I was gonna say winning flips. It's gonna speak too soon. Poker gods, punish me. Do it. Inflict pain. That's actually a really key pot we just lost there, because we would have had 53,000 and been second in chips with 9 left and top 7 get paid right in the bubble. That is a really it's a game-changing basket late in the third quarter. Game-changing goal. But we've still got enough chips to play around with, so it's not like we're going to panic or anything. We're still sitting with, what's in there, 4, 12, 15, M16 or 17, I think. Pretty loose defend top right. I think I will just check. It's a little bit dangerous because sometimes he bluffs us off the best hand here when we do this. But at the same time, it's just such a bad turn. I mean, even if we're ahead, we gotta hit a miracle. Head doll. Probably would have bluffed top right, but the jack's a pretty bad card. If he's got an ace, I think he's calling. He could still have a jack. Kings, he's probably folding, but even kings is kind of close, I think. But I think he does fold it. Just got a delivery, as you would have heard, probably heard. My daughter bringing me some. What have we got here? Oh, excellent. Oh, hamburgers. Japanese hamburgers. Oh, and a parcel, which I think is some clothes. Excelente. Jen Bizzle's a little bit loose on the big blind, so probably not going to mess around with him too much there. Where's all the sixes around here? Six of 15, pretty close to the bub there. Have to keep our eyes out for the bub. We are a little bit chipped up in terms of, 13th. I mean, these guys only have, this guy's 18, around 20k. We almost have double their stack. We can put a fair bit of pressure on them in the bubble. They don't want to really bust at this point. It is 131 to make the money and last another few places. It's kind of the same thing over here, I think, with the 51 rebuy 1 add-on, where we're 6 of 9 and top 7 get paid. So we're getting pretty deep top left too in the B-win. We're actually 6 of 18 and 6. We're not going to be able to fold there, but it's a pretty big jam. I thought he had 6s. I was going to say he has 6s. It's not really that much of a genius call. It looks like he has a small pair when he shoves that stack size, because it's a pretty big shove, and it's pretty clear he doesn't want action. So I would think he has like ace, ace 7s suited, ace 8 suited, ace 5 suited, maybe ace 8 off, ace 9 off, or what's most likely in that instance, I think, is the small pairs. I mean, even though they're less combos compared to an ace, ace 7 is 16 combos, obviously. Sixes is only, 6 combos, but at the same time, I just don't, I just don't know even if it's ace 7 and stuff, if he's going to just shove like that, but you never know. Yeah, this is so close. I think I'm going to fold the jack queen there. It's a little bit tight, but I just kind of had a bad feeling about it. We're kind of the meat in the sandwich there, and I mean, we do have, we do have decent relative position, but it's just, I don't know, it just didn't feel good. I just felt like we can be dominated a bit, We don't have enough hands on the opener yet to know what he's doing. We can't just lump him in with the other fish and say that he's probably just a huge donk. We don't know that yet. It remains to be proven. I think I will call there the king 9. It's pretty close. And I think I'm probably going to go for value against this guy, but I can actually have an 8 a fair bit. I'm definitely just going to call now. I don't think we can. I think it's a little bit too thin. Yeah, queen 9. I mean, he's either bluffing or he's got it, kind of thing. I played this king 9. I mean, it's kind of a loose call, but it's, I don't know, it felt like this guy's 3-betting pretty light there. At the same time, we flop a pair, but it's just such an atrocious board, Any turn card other than a 9 or a king is just bad. But the question is it bad for him? If we call there, we might be able to turn our hand into a bluff, but I didn't want to really compound the borderline call pre-post in a spot where, we've got a few chips and in a soft field, probably going to get some nice spots. And that's just going to get ugly, it's just going to be difficult. So we're in the direct bubble in the bottom left. And there's a couple of short stacks out there, so I'm probably just going to play tight. That's a pretty good flop for our hand. So I tell a lie. Actually, it's only a gut shot. I will call 1 and see what he does on the turn here. Could have raised flop as well, but we don't really have the stack depth to do it, I think I'll just take the free one here. It's pretty close, actually, because I think he might actually have... I could imagine myself hero calling here on a brick. That's not a brick. I think he actually has 10 jack a lot. Let's think about this now that he's checked. Can we bet? Represent? I thought he might actually have... What is he donk betting with? He's going to show us something really gross, isn't he? Like ace-5. He has defended from small blind, but he has been very loose. Yeah, I mean, that's a card that's pretty good for our range, because we can have 10 jack, but he probably doesn't think we have hearts the way we played it. Ace-4, yeah, I thought he might show us something gross. Just donks out the ace-4. And so, you know, it's a little bit annoying that we didn't try something, but I mean, we got a pretty bad turn card. The turn card was pretty atrocious. Bottom left is a close one here. We've got Samirua and Jambizzle behind us, who can 3-bet to put pressure on us because it is the bubble. So, and I know that this guy here, Samirua, is he's definitely gonna do that. So I have no doubt in my mind he's a aggressive player. I won't say monkey, but I mean, he's okay. He's okay, don't get me wrong, but he just doesn't have a fold button. He just has one gear, you know, but as I've said before, in tournaments, just having one gear is not such a bad thing. The old David Williams style, he sort of has that where he just, you know, just seen him bluff off in ridiculous spots, but yeah, or just call down where he just never can ever be good, and he just he's just in there. Once he's in, he doesn't fold, and he loves to get in. His VP is, he raises 21% from early, 27% from mid, 41% from late, and 3-bets 10%, and that's over 4,000 hands. And he's recently been even more aggressive than that, I think. So that's really pushing it. Like, that's, you know, I mean, our bottom middle table is similar. I mean, we've been almost identical stats, bottom middle. But to be able to maintain that sort of aggression, you have to be, well, I mean, you have to be 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy's opening so much, I think I'm just going to shove here. Yeah, it's pretty close. I'm just going to shove it. It's kind of a big shove, but we're only playing 5-handed, and we're against a guy who's opening a lot. I don't want to really 3-bet and get called, you know, because 6s are going to play so bad. And I don't really want to 3-bet and get jammed either, because 6s are going to play so bad. So it's kind of, you can do it either, though. You can do anything with that hand, but I decided to just keep it simple. Yeah, as I was saying, I mean, it's just height 16, 24, 32, 4 and a bit. Yeah, we can take that right. Yep. Boom. Boom. This guy's been tight, gonna raise. Wow, this is a pretty good spot. I'm just gonna check because this guy's not folding, and then we're just gonna be out of position with a sticky opponent on boards like this when we can just call and keep it small and still check call and try and backdoor into a pair or a flush or a straight. And we still might have the best hand as well, so it's pretty close here. I think I'm going to call, just because it looks like he either has a 3 or a 5 when he bets, or nothing, because he's going to bet turn with a jack. He's probably going to bet turn with whatever the second best pair was. I forget now. And so it looks like he's either value betting thinly with bottom pair, or he's just got nothing at all. I'm going to do the delayed c-bet here. We do have a gutser now. Pretty hard for him to call without a 3, but he could have picked up diamonds or have 7 something. Be a bit interested in the pot. And he does go for it. I think I'm just going to fold. He's been very tight, that guy. So I thought the delayed c-bet was okay, because he's just been super tight. But betting is fine as well. In all honesty, I probably normally would bet, but I don't think he's, based on his stats so far where he's been really tight, I just don't think he's necessarily going to give us false information. I'm counting on him to tell the truth. Wow, this is kind of interesting one, bottom left here. So we're in the direct bubble, and we got 9s against the guy I said was a maniac. And there's a couple of shorter stacks out there. I think in this instance, it's actually okay just to call and set mine. It's pretty gross. Well, not gross. I mean, we're getting pretty good odds in terms of set mining. It's 1500 to call, and we can win 24,500, almost 25,000. So what's that, like 15-ish to 1? So we're getting around the right odds. We will be folding the best hand though a lot, which is bad. And this guy's always going to barrel like a maniac. But the thing is that, you know, he's opened UTG, and in the direct bubble, I don't really want to 3-bet and call off or jam, and I don't really want to 3-bet and fold, so I've just decided to small ball it. I mean, if it was 7 players left, I would have no problem at all jamming it. But I think in the bubble, with this guy especially, I mean, he's only got 9,000, you know. I don't really want to be the next to bust. Wow. Ooh, I should have jammed there. That's yeah, well, yeah, should have jammed. Wow, this is just a weird spot. This is a gross spot. See how many bad spots I can get in at once. It's actually not a bad spot to ship it in. But again, just because of the bubble. Wow, this is just too sick now. I think I'm actually going to try and win this. This guy made a ridiculous raise size pre, and I was just in 2 minds of whether to fold, jam, or call 3-bet. So I did decide just to call. It was a ridiculous size raise, and we know nothing about him. It was like a 4x, which actually put us in a really weird spot, because for us to 3-bet, we pretty much commit our stack. So I decided to play it like a chicken, bark, 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 and just call, which made things almost just as awkward. But he did allow us to get to showdown, and he had King Jack. So if I had a sharp pre, I dare say he would have folded. And that'll be a good note to make, which I'll do now, that he does 4x, and you know, with King Jack off, which is, well, what can we say? Welcome to the party.